Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one I'm going to be talking about, which hopefully, as far as I know, is the final nerfed final version of Rowan after round 2 of the nerfs. So, um, I guess let me start with my thoughts on the situation. To me, it's just really frustrating that he came out and he was really strong. For sure, way too strong initially. I get that. And then they nerfed him. Okay. But then after that nerf, they nerfed him a second time. That's really frustrating. A lot of people talented him up after seeing the initial preview, put resources into him, took him to gold right away, took him to silver, leveled him up, etc. That's frustrating. If you're frustrated, you have a right to be frustrated with that. I would suggest going to the forum and talking about that, right? It's pretty not cool, and I'm not a fan of that at all. I was extremely upset about it for a while, but a game's not worth getting upset about. And it is what it is. Unfortunately, what it is pretty lame in that situation. Scopely needs to do better, right? Simply put, straight up, they need to do better on that. So really not a fan of that. So gonna put all that aside now that I have that out of the way. It's a crappy situation. I don't like what happened. It happened. That's that. And let's take a look at him at his final version. Is hopefully, as far as I know, his final version here. So, what changed? My first preview, I'm actually going to leave up so you can see what's changed. I changed the title so you know it's the not good one. That was after the first set of nerfs. This is now the second set of nerfs. As far as I know, he's done being nerfed. That's what I was told, to the best of that person who relayed the information's knowledge. Of course, we don't know that for a fact, but it's possible that he could get nerfed again. So this is him at gold. I was playing him on the Twitch account earlier, and now I'm recording the video on the big gold account. I don't have my normal stuff up like you'd see. We're going to run this build set the entire time, and I am going to switch out the trainers and the straps and the plates as we go. Kind of a progression build so you can see what he might look like for you. I'm starting with a 20% strap with Fury 1s, so a little bit small, and then I'll go to a 50% with Fury 2s, and then 100% with Fury 2s. This set I'm just going to run with one set of trainers. It's a little bit more obtainable trainers. So Woods and Gunther, he'll be started turn 1 in feud. Zombie Brett, and Zombie Chelsea. If you have Mherex, definitely use Mherex over Chelsea. He's clocked out better earlier. Thank you, Bunders, for having me check that. So yeah. All right, now to get started, 2020 and Titan. If you don't know what the Titan does, whenever you make 8 or more blast gems, increase the damage of all your gems by 200% for 2 turns. We are gonna go with the small build. I'm gonna go against Sammy, who has less health. And the moves, now, I should read them. 2 MP, 724k damage, make 9 random gems into blast gems. That's purple. Big Boot, 7 MP, 567k damage, increase your red MP by 10. Then deal 439k damage, make 20 random gems into multiply gems of strength 6. This was 40, now it's 20. And the finisher stayed the same, 3.1 million damage, and swap a 5x5 random area into purple gems. So that stayed the same. Like I said, with the Entourage, you're loaded with your MP to start, buffing the purples and the multis, and buffing the multis. You could certainly use Mherex if you have him, would be better than Chelsea. But this is loaded turn 1 in feud. Again, 20% strap Fury 1s, and we'll run this once or twice, depending on how the board breaks, so you can get an idea of... There's a lot of random, depending how many multiplies you catch, is what I'm getting at. So Titan gives 200%. Your purple multiplies are going to do 1.9 million damage. Keep in mind, this is a maxed out filled stars. If you are not filled stars, if you are not maxed out with levels, this will hit way, way less. The move damage is spicy. 9 million there. And then we blew up the board, caught a bunch, and we did 45 million total. Not bad. That's solid. To be fair, reworked character, 20% strap, Titan plate, not crazy trainers, that's solid, that's pretty standard. So, like, setting aside, again, what happened earlier, that's really solid for a reworked character. Now, it goes up from there. So let's change the strap, and then we'll get into that. Again, I'm trying to set aside things that happened from just the preview. Know for sure, guys, that I didn't like it, that I expressed my opinions very strongly about the situation, and we were told that they were gonna the characters coming out and needing reworked has been happening too much, and they're looking at what steps they can take to fix that. That's what we're told, so that's all that I can tell you. So to the best of my knowledge, that is accurate. Okay. So now we have a 50% strap with Fury 2s, and we're putting that Titan back on. I'm going to keep the same basic, more basic. I know some of you might not have all of these, so I probably shouldn't say basic. Trainers on, right? And then I will move up a little bit in trainers. I'll show you a couple things. Now we are doing 2.2 million on the purples. So you can see upping the 50% strap in the Fury 2s added about 300k per multiply that we hit. Let's see what kind of break we get. That's a solid break. 48 million gem damage and 9 million finisher damage for 57 million. It won't always be that good, but that's 57 million. So that's pretty good. Go someone with a higher health point now. I'm going to run it one more time. Still the same 2.2 as you'd expect. 9 million on the finisher. And you can see significantly less. We hit for 40 million total. So that will happen. So if you see like some videos with like crazy hits on this, because when you have crazy stuff, he definitely can have some big hits. You also have hits that go from like, we were hitting like in the 50s to, you know, like 48. Now that was 30, what was that, 32 gem? That will happen, right? So that is important to know. So let's take Chelsea off and put Bailey on. Bailey really is only good if you catch a red multiply. That's the only difference, and it's not that different. So actually, let's just do Mherex, to be honest, in this scenario. Let's do Mem. 2.36. So Mem is giving us a little bit more over Chelsea. Not a lot, but a little. Also, the other gems, if they break, are good. You can see no cascade, 38 million total, 31 million gem. Again, not that crazy, right? If he doesn't get a cascade with his, and it's all random, the damage is not super crazy. That's part of what taking those multiply gems away did, in making him not quite as good, right? For sure. Not as consistent. He still can hit very hard, but not quite as consistent. Okay, now we're gonna go to 100% strap. And then we're also going to add an ultimate plate in here eventually. I think I have just enough currency to do what I want to do for this. Excellent. Tighten back on. You can see the red move damage is pretty significant. It's a nice move damage. It's a really good rework, even still like this. Like if I was just looking at this from the start, I would actually be really excited about this. Currently, I'm not really excited, and I'm trying not to poo-poo this because this is very, very good, but it's frustrating, right? And so 100% strap. We're going to use the same entourage here once or twice, depending how the board breaks. And like I said, just keep in mind, you're going to see some wide variances in this with his builds, because it doesn't always hit. I should have checked the damage. You can see there we got a cascade. 56 million total with 100% strap and a Titan. And Mherex. Still not crazy. Still not crazy at all. And we did get a bit of a cascade there. It was not necessarily super great, but it wasn't terrible either. I'll check the damage on this one. $2.56. So what is that, like 200k higher? That was a really nice break. This is going to be really hard. So that was 61 million gem. And 9 million on the finisher, but we got basically everything. So that's what I mean. The variance is like 10 million easy swing there. Okay. You can also do this. NOD Rock gives 2 purple MP, 1 bigger multiply gem. Now we're up to 2.74 million per. This should be a little more consistent when we don't get those big hits. That was a pretty good hit, but you can see only 53 million damage, right? So even though our gems were way up, we still hit for significantly less than that big hit we had. So there, you are definitely going to see some big variances. I'm going to go ahead and hit that once more. I really want you guys to know what he's going to look like and the variance before, because a lot of people I think are going to invest in him. So I'm just trying to show you the swings you can have, and the swings apply to all of the builds, right? Those damage swings and variances are going to be there. Let's see if we get a better pop this time. It really is how many multiplies you clip, right? And then that's a really good cascade. That was 65 million total. 65 million total is pretty good. 58 is okay. So there is one other thing that you can do. I mean, you could put Leo on there, but he's so rare, I'm not going to do that. If you got Leo, know you're going to hit harder than Mem for sure, right? There's one other thing you can do, and that's this. And he does have a middle lane build, but I'm not going into that with this, because you start doing middle lanes and people can do things and hit way harder than normal, and I don't think that's fair. But you can add Bubba's specs, and that's going to increase your purple damage by 100% each time. Which if you catch a lot of multiplies, you can hit very hard. And just so you guys can see the gem damage swings, we're going to go against Taker now, because he's got more health. And I'll run a few this way. This is like his kind of his peak other than Leo. This is basically his, other than Leo or a middle lane, this is as hard as he can possibly hit with whaley stuff. So this would be like top end, and this is really whaley without Leo. And we are up to 3.21 million now. That got every multiply gem. 75 million, but we got, and that's with the finisher, but we got every single multiply gem, and that's like a perfect hit. That's as hard as he's gonna hit with this. That's everything maxed except for Leo. So that was a perfect hit. You won't always do a perfect hit though. And if you don't have his levels maxed, if you don't have his stars fills, he's gonna hit way, way less. Just FYI. This is a pretty good looking board to start, to be honest. Especially if it goes like in here. And gets rid of those loot box gems. See? 62 million. And we got all of the multiplies except for 2. And it was 62 million total. So you're talking about, that was a 13 million gem damage swing. And that's running him literally top of the line other than the few people that have Leo. So that is your Rowan, nerfed, and I will give you 2 thoughts. Compared to what he was, not nearly as good, as far as pre-nerf. Compared to what he was before buffs, he's exceptional, right? Like, a very exciting rework, still fun to play. It's like 2 separate things, right? He's still fun, he's still great, but I get everyone's frustration, and I promise you I was equally frustrated and angry and upset, and I really had to reel myself in a little bit because I can't fix the game, right? Like, it's not, I can express my displeasure, and I promise you I did, but this is where it's at now, and if it doesn't get nerfed again, which it shouldn't at all, he's still in a really solid spot. And as you get nicer stuff, he's pretty fun still. And even without nicer stuff, he's usable and great for tours and things like that. So, yeah, I guess that's what I got, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Good, bad, ugly. Thoughts for me, thoughts for Scopely. Keep us separated because even though I'm a content creator, I do not work for Scopely. So keep that in mind. And then just one last thing to say to Scopely. Please, you guys got to do better than this, right? Because it's super frustrating for your player base, and it feels really bad when you see something really good. I heard someone say today that it's almost like they give you an ice cream cone and then slap it out of your hand. And that's kind of what it feels like because something was so delicious and good and you took a couple licks, couple bites, and then it's gone. In this case, it's not quite gone because we still have him, but we have half of what we had, basically. To be fair, he was hitting too hard at the start, to be fair, for sure. 160, 140 million is a bit much, for sure, on a rework, right? For sure, no question. So I think if this had been the first nerf, it would be not nearly as frustrating, but more importantly, I don't know why we are here to begin with. It shouldn't happen where a card comes out and hits for 140 million damage and then they're surprised by it. Because the moveset's really straightforward, you know? Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. That's Rowan. That's my thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck out there. Yeah, he's still good. And still good and still fun. But yeah, it is what it is.